We will go back to the Nebraska game. There was the good, there was the bad. Tony, we'll start with you, and we've got a question. You could start with the question and then let us know whatever your thoughts are about Nebraska, and certainly putting up 26 points and bogging down in the red zone a number of times. But Ed Rogers is saying, will CJ ever get over his fear of contact? Well, that leads us to just basic running the football question concerning the quarterback.
Here's my thing, and I reject this entire notion. No offense, Ed. You can't play quarterback at Ohio State or any major program and be afraid of contact. If you're afraid of contact, you can't stand in the pocket, you can't survey, you can't go from one read to, because people are coming to hurt you. And that alone means that you are okay with that. And you know you don't want to get sacked. Tom Brady doesn't want to get sacked. Tom Brady doesn't run. He doesn't. No quarterback wants to just go run and get hit. But also they understand that can happen anytime they drop back. So it's not just he's not running because he's afraid of contact. You wouldn't be playing the position at this level. Kids get away with it in high school. You play it at this level, and you are going to get hit. You throw a 60-yard bomb and it's a touchdown. You still end up on your butt, on your face, on your back from getting hit. And so you have to stand in there. And so I know people want him to run more. He ran some more. It netted the Buckeyes rushed for 90 yards against Nebraska, having CJ Stroud as part of the run game. It's more than just CJ Stroud right now. It's also blocking. It's execution. I think he's had one time this year where he should have just kept the ball and scrambled, and he threw it instead, and it was an interception. Stroud, every other time he throws the ball, it's a first down. He scrambles, he looks for somebody downfield, and it's an easy completion. People get upset about that. It's like because they want him to pick up 4 yards instead of 11. We got to, you can have the toughest quarterback ever. If he can't complete a pass, JT Barrett was the toughest quarterback Ohio State has had since the 60s when everybody, wrestled cows and punched horses. JT Barrett was tough as hell. Could he beat Alabama in a national championship game? Could he beat Clemson in a playoff game? Did he have the arm to throw and complete? Maybe in 2014 he could have done it. You can be tough as heck, but if you can't complete passes, you're just not going to get it done. And I mean, the evidence continues to pile up. Like quarterbacks have to be able to throw the ball. He doesn't get paid to be a running back. He blah, blah, blah. And people are upset about that. I don't have a problem with that. He's not. He's right. He came here to throw the football. And that's my tangent. The win over Nebraska, anytime you get a win on the road in the Big Ten, there's no need to apologize for it. Do they need to clean some stuff up? Yes. Now's the time to get it done. But it's November. It's the Big Ten. That's not going to be easy.
I'll jump in. I'll kind of dovetail off what Tony says there. He's not paid to run the ball. I mean, I think that the way that the quote kind of made its way to social was an incomplete quote in terms of what it was. And people were quick to kind of jump on him and question his intestinal fortitude, if you will, about wanting to get out there and run it. I think, though, that when you do so many things of where you're reading keys in terms of the offense, and it's never going to be QB keeper. He's never going to call his own number on the read. Why do that? Because all it ends up being at that point is just fluff and window dressing. So, all right, fine. Run more play action. Just run straight play action if you're going to do some of these things. Don't waste your time with saying, maybe I'm going to run. Maybe I'm going to run. And he's not going to run. And everybody knows he's not going to run. I would like to see an offense personally where there is a little bit more Q run, but that's because that's what I've seen in covering this team for so many years. So I'm familiar with it. I go back to that. I certainly can go back just a few years and be like, this team runs the quarterback way too much. They need to start throwing the ball downfield. Well, now you have it in the other direction. But I think that some of the things they're doing structurally really sets itself up to potentially having the Q run. And if you're not going to have the Q run, fine. Don't have the Q run, but don't sit there and have the window dressing that makes it look like you're going to not have it. I mean, how many times can I sit there and pull your finger and you're going to fart? And I'm going to stop pulling your damn finger because I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, positives, I thought the defense played outstanding against Nebraska. just gave up the 2 long pass plays where it seems like Bryson Shaw, the deep safety, may have gotten deked into coming up to play another route, and Lathan Ransom was unable to have the coverage over the top in man coverage out of the slot. So, those things happen, I guess. And, you take away those 2 plays, I think Martinez threw for like 243, 248, something like that. Take away those 2 plays, and it was only 120 yards passing, around 100 yards rushing. So nothing to write home about. Nebraska scored 17 points, and they left some points on the field. They missed 2 short field goals, obviously. One wasn't necessarily short. It was like 35, 40 yards, I guess. The other one was a chip shot, that the worst looking 33-yard field goal I've ever seen in my life. He hit it. And well, first of all, I didn't understand why Frost kicked the field goal in that situation. It was 4th and 4 at maybe the 17, 18-yard line, something like that. And they were down 6 points. And here you are, you're 3-6 on the season. Not that your record should ever necessarily come into game thinking of, what you're going to do, but you need to go for the win in that situation. And, if you can't pick up 4 yards on 4th down, then, maybe you weren't going to win this game anyway. But
especially when your kickers are hitting 50% of their kicks.
Yeah, wasn't an automatic kick by any means. And the 3rd down play, this is why Nebraska can't have nice things, as one of Kevin's favorite pet comments goes, because on the 3rd down play, again, I was in the far end zone shooting Ohio State defensively, looking at me. You guys would know better than me from the high shot. It appeared that the tight end was wide open for a 1st down, and he threw it behind him, and it was incomplete. And as one of the commentators, RJ Young or somebody, said that, here you are on the porch, getting ready to put it in the house, and, you miss him on 3rd down, and then you go for a field goal on 4th down. And so that was a little bit of a head scratcher to me, why Frost at 3-6 on the season was playing for, a field goal here and then maybe a field goal later to force overtime or whatever, when a touchdown in either scenario gives you the win. The other thing was the quarterback being hit and fumbling with 1:45 to go, and Ryan Day kind of cavalierly saying, well, we run it, we throw it, we mix it around, we do this, we do that. They were in kind of an in-between area there because Nebraska still had all 3 timeouts. It was 1st down, and they probably needed another 12 to 15 yards to get it in safe field goal range, and certainly needed another 2 or 3 first downs to score the touchdown. So I can understand on one point when you have the nation's efficiency leader, or one of them throwing the ball in that situation, why you would throw it. But again, you put the ball in harm's, put the game basically in peril. Just last week, Jerron Cage in the same situation picked it up and took it the other way for a touchdown. Had a Nebraska linebacker or safety or cornerback gotten to that ball first, they were gone. And, you lose the game potentially on that play. So, that was a tough one. They've been good in pass protection up until that play. I don't know if you're ready for that screenshot that I sent you, Mark, but I had a guy who I was just looking at Twitter, and he posted on Twitter here just a little bit ago, I don't want Stroud running the ball until the CFP. Kill me in the replies if you want, but I'll die on this hill. This was the guy's comment. Here it is on my phone. If you can read it, I don't know. I don't even know the guy who posted it, but seems like half of Ohio State Buckeye Nation wants him to run the ball, and half of them wants him to keep plays alive and keep throwing it, at least until you get into a championship game. There, yeah, you had it on the screen. We were just above it, but at any rate, my feeling on that is the interception, the first one he threw, as I was there at the game and as I watched it replayed on the big board, is he rolls out to the right, and he's got 8 yards of open green field turf in front of him. And there's the screenshot. I just saw this pop up on TweetDeck 15 minutes ago. I go, this is just crystallizes our thoughts on this matter perfectly. This guy is telling the world, go to hell if you think my quarterback. That's my quarterback, man. I can't have him getting bunged up here out here playing Purdue and Nebraska. I need him for the Michigan, Wisconsin, Oregon, and Georgia games in succession. So at any rate, that was a case where he needed to run the ball. He needed to tuck the ball and not try and fit it into a tight window along the sideline where only one guy could get to it. So to me, if he takes off and gets out of bounds and gets 6 yards, it's 2nd and 4 at the 11-yard line, and you are still going to probably score a touchdown. What he did was he ended the series with an interception. And one last thing, a very troubling thing for second week in a row, terrible start for Ohio State. Just miserably terrible start. Both sides of the ball. Had the 4th down catch by Ruckert. Some people with stop action, including myself, have a photo of him with the ball in his hands and his knee on the ground, but then it comes out as he tumbles, forward. Whatever. They didn't stop to look at it, but I was surprised when it came out. I was like, what? I thought he had that. So their kid made a great play, though. That kid's a good player. The guy who, Reimer, I think, came back, and the linebacker, you called his name the entire game. So a lot of good, a little bit of bad. Road win at Nebraska. I want to tell you, I came away so impressed with Nebraska. 84,000 people losing their mind for a 3-6 football team. You don't see support like that maybe 2 other places in the country. So I remember Iowa had the same type of support in the mid-90s when they were terrible, and they got through it, and they've had better football last 2 decades. And Nebraska, this 20-year sojourn through the desert may be coming to an end sooner rather than later.